I came to a community outside of Calgary to see what it was really like out here and get a feel for different types of properties and what we can expect if we live in one. The ability to buy any home at all is a dream, but that doesn't mean that the notion of a dream home has left their minds at all. If you've saved up enough money for a house, chances are high that you've explored every single option there is out there. I know I have, but are any of the properties that are currently on the market your forever home? If you're just breaking into the housing market, can you actually afford a dream home? I know I would love to buy a home and never have to move again because that is my least favorite thing to do. In this case, let's look at the differences between a few property types to see which one suits your lifestyle the best. Okay, seatbelt is buckled. Thanks for coming along for me on this ride. I'm super excited. Today, we're gonna look at condos, townhomes, and single-family detached properties. So I wanted to check out a few different things about these properties. There are structural differences, the amount of square footage, the amount of privacy you get, the cost of the properties, there are perks, and there are things to consider. Let's look at condos. I see some up here that are right on the lake. They look beautiful, so let's check it out. When it comes to condominiums, you're looking at a smaller residence within a larger building, multiple floors, and shared walls on both sides. Typically, condos have less square footage than townhomes and single-family dwellings. However, condos are often cheaper than townhomes because they come with no land. But just like townhome owners, condo owners have to pay monthly HOA fees. HOA fees are homeowner association fees, and those fees cover the costs of unit exterior maintenance, insurance required to cover pricey items such as roofs, elevators, and parking structures, as well as any trash and snow removal. Therefore, the HOA fees to live in a condominium are usually a little bit higher. Some perks are amenities. Within a condo building, there's tons of awesome options like built-in fitness centers, swimming pools, game rooms that are often free for use of anyone who owns. But something to consider when it comes to condos is that you're sure you're going to be comfortable in this size of home and you aren't worried about having to pay HOA fees on top of your mortgage and property. Awesome, so now we're going to look at townhomes. And there's some on the other side, so they don't directly face a lake, but they still look really cool. They have a really great community garden in the middle and a few walking paths nearby, which I think is such a perk to living in a townhome. Kind of similar to a condominium, townhouses are attached and they share at least one common wall with another neighbor. Generally, townhomes have less front and backyard square footage, but inside they can be a bit smaller or similar to single-family homes. A townhouse is not always less expensive than a larger single-family dwelling. This is because the owner must pay the monthly HOA fees that we spoke about earlier, and the HOA can be quite strict on changes you may want to make to your home. When it comes to a townhome, a perk is that there's less maintenance, but you still get to enjoy a small front and backyard area to grow a garden or make a patio space. Something to consider is that be sure that you're comfortable sharing a wall or two with another neighbor and won't feel frustrated by the lack of freedom you may have to make changes. And then the majority of this community is actually suburb, so there's a lot of single-family detached homes. There's tons of playgrounds, but most of these single-family homes are beautiful. They're massive. The amount of yard work that I can see that you'd have to do is screaming in my face, but I'm excited to see what it's like. A detached single-family home has no shared walls and sits on its own parcel of land. The square footage of detached homes ranges from small to, well, as big as you can imagine. Because you have to maintain much more land and do it all on your own dime, single-family ownership is the most expensive type of property to own. However, one perk to consider is privacy is your number one when it comes to owning a single-family property. Not only do you have more space, but you'll also be able to do whatever you please with that space. However, make sure that you consider that you're able to maintain your land and you're aware of all the added costs that come with the upkeep of home maintenance. I think the best part about real estate, or something that's really my favorite thing about real estate, is that anything that you want to consider home is your home, and it doesn't matter what the type of property is. If you're comfortable and you're happy there, then it's your home, and nothing anybody says should affect that and should make you feel like you need something bigger or need something smaller. It's all about your personal lifestyle and what works best for you and your family. So yeah, forget the haters, buy whatever home fits your budget and your lifestyle. That's the two main things that you should consider when you're buying a home, in my opinion.
which is the only opinion that matters, right?
You may think that you have everything sorted and that you don't need to worry about anything because you're never going to sell your home again, but it's actually really important to consider some other factors before you buy a property that might help you with resale value in the future. If you think you're never going to sell your home again, hey, I totally am with you, but like I said, unexpected things happen. Let's take a look at Jamie Sisson, travel nurse and personal finance blogger, for example. Jamie thought that she had purchased her dream home with the love of her life, but things changed really quickly after their relationship ended just 5 short months after they took possession of their home.
That first home was definitely an emotional buy, whereas now I'm more logical about when I come to buying houses.
While we want to buy homes based on what we're looking for in the future, sometimes it's a good idea to look at your current lifestyle first, and if there's room for growth on top of that, it's an added bonus. Personally, I've decided that a single family detached home is best for me, but that's merely because we have a kid already, we need the extra space, and we know that the neighborhoods we're looking in have really good resale value. Therefore, there's a few factors you should consider before you buy your first home. 1. Is the home in a good location? Is it an established neighborhood? 2. Does the home have sweat equity? Are you going to be able to make some small home improvements to increase the value of that property? And 3, is the property a good investment overall? Is this property an ideal buy for someone else in the future? I actually dive way deeper into these 3 factors over on zolo.ca/news in my latest column if you want to read more about them. If you're still unsure which type of home is best for you, set up some showings to get a feel for what's within your budget and what suits your lifestyle. If you need to live walking distance from work, you might only have the option to live in a condo. If you want some outdoor space to enjoy but you don't have time for the upkeep, maybe a townhome is for you. If you want lots of space and you can afford to live in a bigger property, maybe it's a single family home. Whatever makes you happy and makes you feel comfortable is what is best for you. A home will only appreciate if you take good care of it, so you want to make sure that whatever you are buying is something that you can put a lot of tender love and care into for the long run or the short term if some things do change. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You can tweet us at Zolo Canada, and you can also watch our previous videos here for some more first-time homebuyer information that you won't want to miss.